In case you can't tell, I'm in a completely different kitchen now. That's right, I have moved, and in this video, I am so excited to actually show you guys my brand new milling station and baking station. Yep, I'm in a larger space and I'm no longer cramped in this tiny little kitchen that I had at the last place. And so in this video, I'm just going to be showing you guys, hopefully to give you some inspiration about how to maybe organize, how to make your kitchen more efficient, especially when it comes to milling your own grains and baking all the bread. Hey everyone, welcome back to Grains and Grit. My name is Felicia, and on this channel, we talk all things about real whole grains from a biblical perspective, milling wheat, busting some wheat myths, recipes, all the things. So as I said in this video, it's a bit different. It's probably going to be shorter, but we have now moved. We actually own this place. The last place we had was a rental, and I actually was in another place before that we had sold, if you saw my earliest videos on this channel. So good news, we definitely don't plan on leaving this spot for a while. So I was really able to start settling in, knowing that I'm not just going to have to repack it up in a year. So in our new house, my kitchen is much larger. I have way more counter space than the rental I had at our last place. I have a little island. That's what the camera's sitting on. And, but also on top of that, I actually was able to set up an entire milling station in my laundry room. Now my laundry room is still small, but at least one part of it, we were able to set it up where I could store my grains. They're no longer here in my kitchen, and I can actually have all of my mills set up. So I'm first going to be showing you guys my milling station, also the shelves that my husband built because he loves me. And then I'm also going to be showing you guys my baking station and hopefully give you some inspiration about how to organize and make your baking more efficient. Actually, before we begin, I want to talk about today's sponsor for this video, and that is Pleasant Hill Grain. You've heard me talk about them before. I love Pleasant Hill Grain. I mean, if I was to set up a store for this channel, it would be them, and that's why I love to talk about them. They're a great sponsor for this video because pretty much everything that you see, all the grain mills, the mixers, even some of the grains, you can get at Pleasant Hill Grain. I love supporting smaller companies that also place an emphasis on quality, and they certainly do. I will say that the cleanest grains I have ever received has been from Pleasant Hill Grain. They go above and beyond when it comes to their grains, especially. Their grains come in sealed buckets in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. I mean, it's crazy. They are also exclusive dealer for grain mills like the Como grain mill. So if you've had your eye on that one, that's one of the mills I do not have. They are the place to go, as well as many other items. So whatever mixer, grain mill that you're looking for, the grains, and even extra things, bread machines. They even have presses, chicken plucker, which I will definitely be looking at when we come to slaughtering chickens again. Whatever your needs are, be sure to support this wonderful company, Pleasant Hill Grain. Don't give your money to Amazon or Walmart or the big guys. Start giving it to those smaller businesses that are family owned. And be sure to shop at Pleasant Hill Grain. Just go to grainsandgrit.com/PHG. And again, thank you so much, Pleasant Hill Grain, for being a sponsor to Grains and Grit. So first up, this is my grain and milling station, and it is just on one side of my tiny little laundry room. So this is just it. It's not Pinterest perfect, beautiful, but it is a functioning milling station. And so up here, my husband actually built these shelves all on his own, just from lumber that we already had. And so up here, I keep in this bin, this is for the extra parts for my Wonder Junior Deluxe mill. And then I keep some canned stock that I have on hand, some canned jalapenos, pickled jalapenos, and then so many grains on this shelf. And as you can see, I can fit plenty more. These are deep enough where I'm able to fit 2 deep. So these are gallon-sized jars, and there are more jars behind it. So all of these are labeled. They're just Post-it note labels. They're not very pretty, so I prefer to just see my grains, no labels. And of course, you know, popcorn, we gotta have popcorn. And then coming down, so with these, I think he used deck boards that he had. And then with this, these are just 2x4s that he cut to where they are triangles. So these shelves are extremely sturdy. There's so much weight on these shelves, and he built them just for me, for my grains to hold all the grains. Now, all the grains and buckets are actually out in my shed still. So these are the ones that I keep in jars, my beans, all the things. But if you're going to do this, make sure that you're putting the shelves into studs and that they are very sturdy. So let's go on down. This is our wonderful, circuit breaker. And so I'm actually going to start decorating it with stickers to make it look prettier. These are stickers that came with my Nutri-Mill Harvest grain mill. But one thing that I'm most excited about is this table. Now, one day we may replace it with an actual wooden built-in table that my husband might do for me. But for now, we had this fold-out table. I know it's ugly, so I've been debating about putting a tablecloth over it, thus covering what's under here too. But bottom line is I was most excited to now have all 3 of my grain mills is accessible. So here, this is my Wonder Junior Deluxe. I finally do have the drill attachment set to that, by the way, so I can use the drill for this. I have Miss Wanda now, Miss Wanda Wonder Mill. I know it says Whisper Mill, but it's a Wonder Mill. And then, of course, we have Miss Nancy Nutri-Mill here that I have. And then I have my pasta maker as well. These are kind of extra grains that aren't fitting in my jars, but they will soon. And then, of course, with my grain, I do have my brushes here, so I'm able to clean off my mills whenever I need to do that. And then here is my bowl that I keep my wheat in. This is a lid that I no longer have the bowl to, so it's just a lid with no partner. And so it just kind of fits over here. If I have extra flour that I know I'll be using later on soon, I will just keep it in the bowl, but keep it covered so no flies, bugs come in. So I know the table is absolutely hideous, but again, I'm going for function right now, and this is working for me. I love being able to just come here, I get whatever grains I need to get, I can choose whatever mill that I have. I do like having the 2 mills for various reasons, and I'll have to cover that in another video, but I've got a set milling station. Now under the table, I have various things that I'm storing. So that's some stockpile of my peanut oil that I like, some used oil as well, because I like to reuse oil when I fry it. I already have just a bucket of my oats out here because I find I go through that very fast. And then I keep my dog food here too. I'm thinking of actually bringing out some other buckets of grains, my hard red, hard white, my soft white, because they are my most used, and that'll keep me from having to go out to the shed as often. But those are just options that I have. But here we have the milling station, ugly, electrical panel included. And then of course my step stool is ultra important in here because I'm 5'2", and to get anything on top shelves, I need stools, and I have those all over my house. So here we go. Here's the milling station. And now let's go to my bread baking station. Here we have one section of my kitchen. This whole thing I pretty much call my baking food prep type station. It is predominantly set up for bread baking because that's definitely what I do most of the time. And this is again just one section, and it's here by my stove. And then I have all these cabinets up and below it. This kitchen is much larger than my rental one, but the reason what makes this my baking station is I have Miss Betsy Bosch right here ready to go. And then I even have here, for those who do not know, I actually have a quick cheat sheet ingredients. Is completely free. If you go to my website, I will link this below. So if you sign up for my newsletter, this is free. And one thing I use this is it's not the full recipes. It's just the ingredients. So for 1 loaf, 2 loaves, or 3 loaves of bread, and then my cornbread, 1 dozen muffins, 2 dozen muffins, biscuits, pancakes, and pie crust. This was my first printout I ever did, and I made some mistakes. So yours are fixed. Don't worry. And so, because many times these are my most used recipes here, and instead of trying to like go through cookbooks and stuff like that, this is my ingredients. I already know how to make them. I just need to be reminded of the ingredients, especially whenever I'm used to making 3 loaves of bread and I need to now make 1 loaf of bread. I don't have to mentally calculate that in my brain. So that really helps. It's just hanging up here by one of those clips on my fridge. And then Miss Betsy Bosch is here. And then I have my huge, nice, big cutting board here that I can need bread on, things like this. This you probably will not need because that is just a background I use for food photography. So most people probably won't need that. But then here I have things easy within reach. So here I have my measuring spoons, my Redmond salt, which Redmond salt is a salt I recommend the most. I love it. I do have a coupon code for you guys. I will link that below. So I have that, a little mortar and pestle if I need it. I do keep my oats out here because I'm always reaching for that. And a little jar of sugar, some butter, and then of course my eggs, paper towels, and I keep my blender out here as well. So it's a great food prep. And then in my drawers, here I have my measuring cups and my cutters, my roller things that I use for my bread, as well as any cutting utensils, my graters. Up here I have my measuring cups. My oils and honeys are right here in this cabinet, ready for me to grab. So literally all I have to do is whenever I have my milled flour, I bring it in here and I mix everything up. The only few steps that I need to make is the opposite side of my kitchen. I have to get my water, but everything else I arranged it in my kitchen where it's pretty much here ready to bake bread and food prep. So I even have, a small cutting board here that I like to use for meat. And then also all attachments for my Bosch, I actually have right here in a little bin. So any attachments that I need, my cookie paddles, things like that, they're right within reach of Miss Betsy Bosch. And doing all this really helps me save time in the kitchen. It makes it more of a joy to bake. The only thing I need to get is one of those little foam mats here for my feet to help cushion my feet, because I am here a lot. And a lot of times when I'm standing in my kitchen, it is here. So again, I have a much larger kitchen than this, thank God, but this is my main station that you see me at the most. Oh, and I do have my bread pans I keep here. The oven is just right here. So everything is here. And that's my new bread baking, food prep section. One thing I did forget to mention that we did have to order is under here is actually a light strip, which is so handy because for some reason, this part of my kitchen is the darkest part of my kitchen. And so having that light, we just got it from Amazon. I will link it below. It's battery operated. It just takes some AA batteries and it either sticks up or you can screw it in to the bottom of your cabinets and you can't even see it. I have been loving it. So if you're needing some simple under the counter light for your station so you can see everything, that will be linked down below. All right, so there y'all have it, y'all. Just kind of pretty simple. A milling station, a baking station. No, it is not Pinterest worthy. It's not going to be featured in Better Homes and Garden magazine, but it is very functional and makes my job much easier in the kitchen. So again, many thanks to Pleasant Hill Grain for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check them out for pretty much all your kitchen needs because they're just amazing. Be sure to go to www.grainsandgrit.com/phg. And as always, I will see you next week and I hope that y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.